Hey everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner East on this Wednesday evening. We are at the Pizza Hut in Gallion in the Col Crawford portion of tonight's show. We are brought to you in part by Steve Christman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Gallion. Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Gallion Square. John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown. Crestline to the microphone we go this evening. It's assistant coach, offensive coordinator from the Col Crawford Eagles, Jake Bruner. Coach, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
In high school, English was never really one of my strong subjects, but nor was math or pretty much any of the others, except for maybe lunch and gym and stuff like that. And because of that, I'm running out of adjectives to describe your team. And so I guess I'm going to ask you, what are some adjectives that you can describe your team with in the success that you're having?
I'm not a good English. I was a social studies teacher, Mike, and I haven't done a lot with adjectives lately. So I don't know if these are all adjectives, but I'll say this: I hope that our team. I think one of the things that Coach Texas talks about is toughness. It's a hard-working, tough, blue-collar team, and I think these guys and the guys at practice every day try to honor that the best they can. He's done a great job of leading our program and doing that, trying to instill those values of hard work and toughness and having that mindset, and the kids have really done a nice job with that.
And come off another huge win, 76-0 at Buckeye Central. Let's face it, a team that's having their troubles, not a lot of numbers, but you have to respect every opponent, and I'm sure you prepared accordingly going in. You don't want to look by anybody, and as I talked with Coach DeGray last week, Buckeye Central is one of those programs that they never give up. They never give in. They never hang their head. They play the full 48, and I'm sure that's what you got. But boy, it's just total domination on both sides of the ball. You rushed for 405 yards. You had 520 yards of total offense. You held the Bucks to just 3 yards rushing and 0 first downs. And I know you're an offensive guy, but as impressive as those offensive numbers are, the defensive numbers blow my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I did not realize, when we're on defense, not that I'm not paying attention, but I'm thinking about what my next play call is.
Sure.
On the headset, talking to coaches and watching the huddle on the sidelines. I know we did a great job in the running game, especially. I did not realize till the end of the game that we had held enough for the first down. I don't know that Coach DeGray ever even talked about that. I think our kids, especially our defensive line, has really gotten better as the season goes on. We have a lot of guys back in the secondary this year, and one of our linebackers inside is back. So, we kind of expected them to be more experienced, but we had lost some guys up front. And these guys have really worked hard. They're really coachable, and getting better and better every week, and that's a credit to them. You kind of see it. Buckeye Central, obviously they're in a tough season. Coach Jensen does a fantastic job. We talk to our kids, we went to the scouting course. We got great coaches over there. Sometimes, you don't have all the speed you want, and all the size you want, and all the numbers you want. Injuries happen. We've been there. So, those guys do a great job with it. Their kids work really hard. Their kids play hard. They're great people. They're great coaching, get their kids ready. Right now we're just letting out everything, and that's some of the things that they're going through. 2 years ago we went over there, and gosh, it was 13-8 at halftime. You know what I mean? And we were in a battle. So that's how football goes.
Yeah, for sure. One of the members of the media asked Coach Tegel, are the Eagles getting better? And his response was, I hope so. You can never really tell on that until you see the film the next day. I felt we played a little better than we did last week. Well, yeah, score-wise it is, but I would ask you that. And I would say more specifically offense. Is your offense getting better as the season moves on?
It's really hard to tell sometimes because as coaches, we're all very paranoid that if we forget any detail, that we're going to get worse from the week to week. And you're evaluating opponents. Mohawk's a little better football team than Buckeye Central. We didn't feel our focus was, at least offensively, in the first 2 series at Mohawk was real good. We had a high snap, we had a miscommunication.
Is that complacency?
I think so. I think that's just a little bit of thinking we're going to walk in there and win. And that's, I understand they were dealing with 16-year-old kids, and I've been one of those too. And
Right.
we're not perfect either. I can call better game. I can make better play calls too. And so I think we felt like we were a little bit complacent going to Mohawk on the road. And, we just Coach Ted preached, hey, business trip to Buckeye Central. And I felt like our kids kind of took that to heart and hey, let's go and play and be better and be more in tune with what's going on and how we're doing things. And just felt like at Mohawk at the beginning of the game, we were a little bit just shaky on just alignments, getting lined up in this formation correctly, the right motion and those things. And we had a bad snap and the first two series we drove the ball, but we didn't execute on things that needed to be executed. And had a couple penalties, so we're going to clean that up.
We're getting ready to end the regular season and get primed up for the postseason, and there's been quite a few games, and it's a blessing and it's a curse that you can play young kids in the second half. It's a blessing because they're getting Friday night experience that they normally get at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's a curse in some regards that you're not getting reps over and over again for your starters. And does that ever come into concern as a coaching staff to say, we're just not giving them enough time, but we can't keep them in for two reasons. We don't want to run things up even worse. We don't want to get them hurt.
Somebody asked me the other day about, I bet he asked me, the official asked me the question, would you like running clock in the first half? And I said, I don't know about that. And they said, I bet Coach Ted would. And I said, I don't think he would. And they're like, well, why would you do that? And I said, you guys forget, when you have a team with 60 plus kids in it, to get all the kids, we get in a game where we get to play all the kids as coaches. It's a really fun thing as a coach to play every kid on the side.
Sure.
To say that every kid got in. And it's really hard to do that when we're running clock sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Sometimes we'll get the JVs in early, and then we want to get those freshmen in, but the way the game goes or the way who's got the ball never works out sometimes. So it's frustrating sometimes that way. Yes, it's great to win, and we want to win big, but it's also fun to get those other guys in. And we do worry about our varsity guys, and that's why we run so hard on Monday, Tuesday practice to make sure it's finishing.
Yeah, I heard a Cleveland sports reporter recently say about the Browns, you can't fan scared, you can't coach scared either, too.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure. We'll take a break here before we talk to young men around the table. We're brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Gallion Community Center, YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street, Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates here at Pizza Hut and Gallion and Bucyrus, our host of the show since 1992, and Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing and Signs, sponsor of our phone board t-shirts. Around the table we go, all seniors tonight. First up, lineman Thomas Fulkner. It's great to see you again. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Huge win against a rival. Battle of Route 602 that wasn't much of a battle. But Coach talked about that Coach Teglovic said it's a business trip. What changed that mindset from kind of a sluggish start against Mohawk to a total domination against Buckeye Central? Albeit they're not the same team, but what really changed your guys' mind? Was it during practice, or what was that light that kind of came up?
It was kind of during practice. We've had some tough difficulties with practice, and we all talked about it, and we wanted to change it, and we just wanted to make it from business from here on out and try to dominate everything we have.
You finished the season with 2 home games, and nobody loves home cooking more than the high school kids. They love to be home. Road games are okay, but it's something special about going to school, hanging out a little bit, coming back to the stadium and playing in front of your home crowd. You're going to finish with Bucyrus this week, Seneca East next week, and then we'll see if you get it to host a playoff game, but we'll worry about that down the road. Is it special for you as a senior to finish your regular season at home, both games?
Yes, that makes me very happy. I'd rather have it at home with the fans, the team, our home stadium. Everybody's just happy that they're home. Nothing's better than being home and playing somebody on your field.
Yeah, very good. Well, good luck, continued success. The numbers, is it possible? I mean, Coach, put your fingers in yours. Can you guys hit triple digits? Would you do that, or would you think Coach would take the throttle off there?
I pretty much think he would get honest about it.
Okay, all right. I mean, because freshmen want to score too, right? You're not asking them to lay down, right?
Yeah.
They want to score too. Well, good luck, continued success. Thanks for coming out. Next up, we have Michael Walsh, and Michael, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Anything surprise you? Week after week, have you been surprised? by anything?
Not really. I mean, I feel like we've had a good team from day one, and I think we're getting better and better each week, and that's all you can ask for.
How's your health? Not you personally and as a team. Are you guys pretty healthy?
We've been banged up a little bit, but for the most part, we're pretty good. We're pretty healthy.
Hey, it's week 8 going into week 9. You're going to have those nicks and bruises and all that kind of stuff, and maybe a sprain here or whatever. You got to kind of play through it, and everybody's in the same boat that you are. Bucyrus is coming to town, a team that has shown potential at times and has shown that they've struggled at times. A sophomore quarterback that can fling it around a little bit. What do you expect to see out of the Redmen? Kind of an rival.
It's gonna be a battle. You gotta respect them. They do a good work. You gotta contain the quarterback. You just gotta make sure you focus. Business trip here.
Yeah, and Eddie Dagger's been running the ball really, really well and has potential to break it at any time. So the line's got to play well, the backers got to play well, and the DBs, and everybody's got to do their part, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck to you. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Owen Lawson. He's here. Owen, great to see you again. And
Good to see you.
have you gotten better?
Yes, I have.
Has the team gotten better?
Yes.
Have you peaked yet? These are all questions that coaches think, why are you asking him that? Just let it go. Have you guys peaked yet?
I would say so.
Okay, but you're where you need to be, and you're doing the good things. What's it going to take for you to win not only this week against Bucyrus, next week against Seneca East, and close out this regular season with just one loss?
And we just have to stay focused, keep improving every single day, get better as a group.
And that starts in practice, doesn't it?
Correct.
Do you see any drop in intensity from where it was early in the year to where you are now? Because let's face it, as much as games are a grind, practice can be really a grind day after day after day. Do you see a drop off in intensity there?
I've not seen a drop off this year.
Good. Well, I think when you have the record you do, you want to go to work every day and get the stuff done. Well, enjoy your last 2 home games as a senior, and we'll see what we do in the playoffs, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming. And finally, Caleb Christman is here. And Caleb, does it start to set in that this regular season is coming to a close? Yeah, we started a week early on the calendar. Week 9. Where did the time go?
Yeah, dude, it's kind of a harsh reality that I'm facing right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure your whole senior class has talked about it after practice or when you're hanging out with one another. It is the fastest 10 weeks of the season, and we hope with every intention that it goes well beyond 10 weeks for you guys. But reality is starting to set in that this is starting to come to an end. What do you need to do to ensure that you do everything you can to empty the tank, so to speak, in the last 2 regular season games and then beyond?
Just do our jobs. Everybody's been reading their keys well. They've been going hard at practice. I mean, it's just a great thing to see every day, just people getting better, and we've all just gotten better as a team and as individuals.
What's your biggest concern with Bucyrus?
Their quarterback, he can sling the ball really well, and Eddie Dagger, as you said, he's been running really well past couple games, and he can be a threat, and they have good offensive threats.
It's a team that gives up nearly 38 points per game, and that kind of leads right into your hand as a team that scores a lot of points. What does concern you about them defensively?
Like I said, the run. Eddie can run. He's a fast kid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He can probably outrun a lot of our kids, but and their quarterback he can run outside the pocket, contain him. I mean, he's a dual athlete.
All right, very good. Well, good luck to you. Enjoy your last 2 home games.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you coming out. We're brought to you in part by Don Barn Associates at the Galleon Building and Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia, 1 mile east of the Richmond Mall, and Mark Osborne and Associates at E. Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. And before we get to this week with Bucyrus, your JV team, kind of heartbreaker to Highland. Just searching for teams to play. 36-34, they're now 5-3 overall, 2-2 in the Northern 10 Conference. But again, so many of them are getting time Friday night, and then they got to turn around and play Saturday. Is that a detriment at all?
It's been frustrating to find teams week in, week out. You know, we don't get a report until later. Luckily, Highland came over. They got a great JV team. That was one of the best JV games I've ever been a part of. Just helping on the sideline a little bit. So kids played really well, and our JV team's a little banged up. To be honest with you, we've had a couple guys that broken hand or this here and they're out, and we're playing some freshmen there too. So it was just great. It was a fantastic game, and our kids did not play well defensively in the first half, but they played a great defensive game in the second half.
Now, is your freshman season over? Is that completed now, or are you still?
We're hoping to get another game. I mean, freshman football this year has been just wow.
Yeah.
It's just been a weird year from from that standpoint. And, football in general, I think that's probably the way it's moving right now. So a lot of our freshmen have gotten to play in the JV games, or get to play at some level there. So not maybe as much as we want, but it's one of those things you have to go through.
Coming into this week, you were 9th in Division 5, Region 22, with an average points of 9.7626, 1.1 average points ahead of Cardinal Stritch, and you seem pretty solid. When we're taking 16 teams per region, you feel pretty good that you're going to get in. Now the big thing is hosting, which the top 8 are going to host, or
Yes, top 8 are going to host. I mean, we're not real concerned about that. I mean, obviously we're concerned about Friday night, and if we have the opportunity to win our last 2 games, we feel very strongly we're going to win.
but I have to talk about it.
You can talk about it all you want, but I think you know this too, that if we win the last 2 games, and that's a big if. We're going to wait and take care of business each week, one at a time.
Right.
And things fall as they may. I think you can say that pretty strongly that I think if you look at it, we probably have a home game pretty high.
Yeah, and that's it's the comfort.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up with 3 home games in a row. You're going to get the last 2 of the regular season, and you did the same thing last year, and look at what happened last year. It's so much better when you're playing teams that you don't have to get on a bus and go somewhere. So, Week 9, Bucyrus coming in 2-6 overall, 1-4 in the Northern 10 Conference. Tim Plumley trying to turn things around there, and I think he's done a really nice job. Has found some struggles, but it's moving in the right direction. Fell to Mohawk last week, 27-0. They're averaging almost 17 points a game, but as I mentioned, giving up a little over 37 a game. A team that has shown to they gave up 70-something or whatever to Winford, and they put up some. They've given up some big numbers, and they've been shut out 2 out of the last 3 games. Malachi Bayless, the sophomore quarterback, a little over 1,000 yards, but 7 TDs and 14 picks, and you got a guy, a ball hawker like Carter Valentine back there. You got to be kind of like that a little bit. But Eddie Dagger has really turned it around. 737 yards, almost 100 a game, 8 TDs, and Grady Jackson, their top receiver, 22 receptions, 355 yards and 2 TDs. And when you watch their film defensively, what can you take advantage of?
Well, first I think Tim's done a great job. He's got the numbers up there in the 40s. 2, don't look past the record. They played Crestview, who's undefeated in our region.
Right.
They played Northmore, who's undefeated in the KMAC right now. Obviously, Carey's a very good football team. So they played some really good opponents in that stretch, and they have gotten a lot better. Defensively, what worries me, I tell you this, is the Piper kid is a really good player. He's a hard hitter there. They've got, Randy Banks does a nice job at safety for him. Grady Jackson's really coming out this year, leading receptions. So they've got a lot of good athletes, and they're better athletically than they were a year ago. I mean, they're much better. Dagger's doing a great job running the ball, and I think early on they were kind of just chucking, ducking, throwing a lot. I think now they've got a running game going, so they're a little more balanced, and I think that's helping them from the standpoint offensively. We know we're going to get their best effort in that place, and we've got to be good in all phases of the game.
All right. Well, good luck to you. I appreciate you stopping out. Good luck to all of you. Enjoy your last 2 games at home, and we'll keep talking and see what happens in the playoffs.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
You bet. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Johnny King and the Crestline Bulldogs after this timeout.